What's up, everyone? My name is Nash Kassam, and in this presentation I'm going to show you how to create $10,000 per month of passive income in under a year so that you can quit your 9-to-5 job and do whatever the fuck makes you happy. We help ambitious millennials achieve financial, time, and location freedom so that they can pursue their passion without a 9-to-5 job. So this is a presentation for you if you dread waking up in the morning to go to work, or if you're working for the weekend, if you feel like a rat stuck in the rat race, if you feel stuck or unhappy with where you are at, either with your financial or time freedom in life, if you find yourself daydreaming of traveling or starting your own business or pursuing some kind of passion or hobby. This is also a presentation if you're keen on being your own boss and take control of your time and money freedom, but you don't really know where to start. Now, what you will learn in this presentation is how I accidentally created a marketing agency that generates 6 figures in passive income each year, a step-by-step roadmap on how anyone with a computer and the internet can clone my business, and then how to automate and offload work so that you have both time and money to do whatever makes you happy. And for me, it's golf and travel. So you can see me there. That's at a course called Torrey Pines down in San Diego. Beautiful golf course with my buddy Liam. So I want everyone to know that what I've created for myself is something that anyone can do. This is not rocket science. It's just about working hard and following a process. So if you're keen on creating time, money, and location freedom, I'd love for you to stay to the end of the presentation. So if you stay at the end till the end of the presentation, I'm going to tell you how to get thousands of dollars in free value as my way of saying thank you. Now, one thing I'm going to ask you to do, I want your full attention here. So if you have any tabs open on your internet, please close them. If you have your cell phone on, put it on silent or turn it off. I want your undivided attention if it's possible, because I really want you to kind of see what I'm up to and really grasp whether you think this is going to be a system that's going to work for you based on your individual goals. So if you're working 40 to 60 hours per week and you're doing something that you don't love and you don't feel like you have purpose with what you're doing, this might be a good presentation. If you find yourself not having enough time or money to invest in whatever makes you happy, this is also going to be a great presentation for you. And if you want to be your own boss but don't necessarily know where to start, this is going to give you a nice launching pad on how you can create time and money freedom so that you can start your own business, take on a little bit more risk in your life without needing to worry about finances. Now, this is going to be great for you if you like to travel. So I'm going to teach you how to make sure that whatever we work on, you have location freedom. I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide on how you can make money so that you can travel, pursue a hobby, or start a business that requires a little bit of capital. We help businesses grow, so your work is going to be more meaningful, and you're going to be able to make a difference and an impact. And then you're also going to be your own boss, so you get to work on your own terms. Now, my belief is that freedom is an equation. So for me, freedom is having time and money. And so you think about like a Wall Street banker, for example, working 80 hours a week, making a couple $100,000 a year. Those people aren't typically happy. They don't have any time to invest that money. They don't spend enough time with the people they care about. So if you want to be, if you want freedom, if you want happiness, I'm a big believer in having both time and money. And so here's a kind of a prompting question for you. What would you do with $10,000 per month in passive income? Just imagine that. If you had $10,000 coming into your bank account every month, you didn't really have to work for it, maybe a couple hours a week, what would you do? Would you go skiing or play golf during the week? Would you travel around the world with someone you care about without worrying about money? Would you invest in a business or the latest cryptocurrency buzz? At the end of the day, you can really do whatever the fuck you want, whenever you want, wherever you want, if you follow my step-by-step system. Now, I want to introduce myself here. The most important message I can really tell you is that I'm not a genius. I'm not academically inclined. I was a B and C student in high school and college. In fact, after college, I applied to over 20 places for an entry-level marketing job, and I didn't get a single interview. So my parents hired me to help them with their marketing. at their dental office. And somehow I grew their business by about $400,000 in the first year. And I did that all just by researching online marketing, learning a little bit about it, and just executing. Very basic stuff, nothing crazy. I realized if I could help my parents, that I could help other businesses. So I started a little marketing agency to help primarily dentists and healthcare professionals grow. I grew my business to about $500,000 a year in recurring revenue. So I still had to work for, my money there. And so what I did is I figured out how to automate and offload a bunch of that work without sacrificing quality and results. The attitude being, I'd much rather make $300,000 not working than make $500,000 working. So that's kind of my line of logic there. And, in my free time, when I'm not starting a business, I enjoy golfing and traveling. And so that picture there on the left is me at a golf course called St. Andrews in Scotland. If you haven't heard about it, it's the birthplace of golf. So really exciting. It's unbelievable just to be able to go travel the world whenever you want. I can spend pretty much as much money as I want within reason and not really need to worry about it. And I really want that for you. You might be wondering what caused me to kind of quit the rat race or stop working for my parents right in their office. And I was actually on a flight down to Austin for a bachelor party. And I was reading The 4-Hour Workweek. Someone had just suggested it. It's by Tim Ferriss. And it really talked about the new rich, which was the idea that, a younger generation needs both time and money. And we have this crazy thing called the internet. And it's absolutely bizarre to me how archaic so many businesses are. So many people could be working remotely and, working in a nicer place or a cheaper place to live that's still beautiful. And it just doesn't happen for some reason. So the other thing that happened for me is I kind of took a long, hard look in the mirror and realized I wasn't happy with life. And I could either wait for something to happen or I could take control myself and control my own destiny. So I made a conscious decision to invest time and money into growing myself as a person and learning about how to run a marketing agency better so that I could kind of take control. And I'm living proof that if for anyone it's possible, because I'm not academically inclined. I'm not like a crazy smart person or anything like that. I'm an average guy who just has a really, positive attitude. I believe if I put my mind to something, I can get it done. And I'm living proof that this is possible. I have about 20 happy customers who pay me about $1,000 to $5,000 per month. So it's not like I run 1,000, customer agency. I focus on doing a really, really good job for, 20, 30 customers. I've figured out how to offload and automate most of the work so that I don't actually have to do that much. I set up the strategy and then I put the right team or the right people in place to execute the work. And if you think about how interconnected we are online, a lot of the work can be done offshores for a pretty cheap price. And as long as you're managing it and making sure that people are doing the right things, you can charge several $1,000s a month or more for solving a problem of a business. And you might not be paying that much to actually have someone do the work. It's all about you learning how to craft the right strategy, and it's really, really easy. I can show you how to do that, but we'll get to that a little bit later. In my since finding success and making some good money, I've been able to invest about $100,000 into traveling around the world. So I've spent a couple months road tripping along California, Washington, Oregon, playing all of the best golf courses known to man. I spent some time in Scotland and Ireland playing golf. So for me, it's golf and travel, and I've been able to spend pretty much as much money as I've wanted to doing that. I also really like launching new ideas. I have a lot of ideas, so I've launched an app. I've worked on softwares. Once you understand what I'm going to show you later in this presentation, you'll realize that it's really applicable to a whole bunch of different walks of business. So I'm not a smart person, B or C student. Trust me when I say if I can do it, you can do it too. Now you might be wondering, why am I sharing such useful information? People ask me why I'm creating competitors for myself, And to be honest, it's quite simple. I see so many, people between the age of 20 to 30 who are unhappy and feel stuck. And the last thing I want to do when I'm out with my friends is surround myself with people who are unhappy. So for me, it's just, I want to provide a tool for people who are ambitious and who believe in themselves. I want to provide a really, really simple to follow step-by-step guide on how people can create the same kind of wealth and happiness that I've created for myself. I also want to give back a little bit. I have such supportive parents, and they've given me an opportunity and a safety net to really take risks and fail. And I understand that not everyone has been lucky enough to be brought up in that kind of environment. And so what I want to do for a very affordable price, I want to be able to provide you all of the tools that you need to create financial freedom so that you put yourself in a position to take different types of risks. What if I were to tell you that you could invest $50,000 in a business and know that, hey, if the business doesn't work out, next month you're still going to be able to make rent no problem, right? So that's the whole beauty about passive income is no matter how much you fuck up, you're going to have that check coming in every single month for the rest of your life as long as you do a good job taking care of those businesses. Just kind of a side note, the businesses I help, those 20 businesses that I help, I have an 88% retention rate. So this isn't like I sell someone on a 1-year package and then they drop off and fail. Most of my customers I've had since, now 2000 and probably 13 or 14, somewhere in there when I got started. Those are my customers who are still with me. And since I continue to show them a positive return on investment, they keep coming back. They increase their ad spend, which means I'm increasing how much money I'm making on my management fee, and they refer their friends. So this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. This is how to systematically provide really, really good value to small and medium-sized businesses so that those businesses can grow significantly, break their own sales records and things of that nature, and they're going to pay you a hefty fee every month just to help them manage their growth. Now, I want to bust a couple of myths here because I know all of I watch some of these webinars myself just to kind of get an understanding of how this stuff goes. And all of these people, they seem to be a little bit on a different level than me from an academic point of view. And I really want to make it clear that I am not a successful person in school. I was a B or C student. And so myth number one is I really believe you do not need to be book smart to be successful. Look at that picture of me on the left there. That's me in college drinking, I think it's like Natty Light, some kind of, 4%, 30-cent beer, playing Guitar Hero with 2 polo shirts on, the first one being pink. I clearly make a lot of bad decisions. I'm not a special person. All I've done is I've worked hard and I've kind of gone through my own failures, and I'm going to teach you how to do all of the same things I did that were good without making some of the mistakes I've made. Now, the next myth is that you need to be able to code or design, like graphic design, to build a website or execute marketing campaigns, and that's just simply not true. I have no knowledge on how to code, and I am not a graphic designer. I'm going to show you how you can do all of that stuff with like little to no skill whatsoever. A lot of people also think you need to be like a genius to create passive income. So people get the idea of like having customers and servicing them. There's sometimes a struggle around the idea that those systems and monies can be offloaded adequately to create passive income, and that's just simply not true. Several $100,000 a year goes right into my bank account without me working, so if I can do it, you can too. The next one is that money equals happiness. You see a lot of the webinars that you might see on how to start a business. They talk a lot about how to make more money. But unfortunately, those systems often require a lot of work on your end constantly. What makes my system different is that I'll show you in an 8 or 9 step process how you can not only make a lot of money, but then offload that money so that you can invest time and money into what makes you happy. So it might be a hobby, it might be travel, it might be starting your own business, it might be spending more time with the people you care about, but ultimately that's what leads to happiness. And the last myth is that clients care about how much you work. This just isn't true. Clients don't care how much you work. They only care that you deliver results. So if you find a way to come up with a really effective strategy and then execute that strategy either yourself or by putting the right team in place to execute that strategy, they're going to be happy to pay however much you command or however much value you're providing to them. So don't worry about working too much. Worry about working effectively. Now, I'm about to show you my step-by-step guide to time, money, and location freedom. And I want you to know that if you were to do this on yourself, it might not work out, or it might take 5, 7, 10 years. The reason I want to share this with you is I want to show you how to fast track your success so that in under a year you can get to $10,000 per month in passive income. So I've personally spent thousands of hours on training, on seminars, on attending workshops, on purchasing online education, and I'm creating a system here which really helps you fast track your success. All you need is a good attitude, and you got to put the time in. This isn't a get rich quick type thing. It's you put your head down, you make some sacrifices. Maybe you don't go out every Friday, Saturday night type thing. Like, I want you to hustle. I want you to work hard for 1 year following my steps, 6 months if you're going to go kind of full time at it. And I promise you that you're going to get to that passive income point at around $10,000 or so. So our system is going to teach you how to become an online consultant. So you're going to create your own marketing agency. Now, this 9-step process here is what all of the different courses are. So within each course, there's several lessons. Now, at the very beginning, in the foundation phase of the academy, my job is just to educate you on all of the different puzzle pieces that make up marketing. How you market for a small restaurant might be different to how you market for a big Fortune 500 company. And while you might not be at the Fortune 500 company level at the beginning, you certainly, with a little bit of experience, can get there. Now, after the first course, I'm going to teach you how to make a website, because most of this stuff we focus on revolves around driving traffic to a website. So I'm going to teach you how to make a website that converts those clicks into calls or leads, so to say. Now, once you've learned how to build a website, we've got to learn about all the different tactics to drive traffic to that website. So we might use search engine optimization. We might use Google AdWords. We might use social media marketing. So I'm going to show you how to take some of the different puzzle pieces and implement an actual strategy. Now, once you have the basics, the basic knowledge, and the basic capabilities, it's time to learn, it's time to get your agency started. So I'm going to give you all of the tools, everything you need to know, step-by-step process on how you can create your own website, create your own logo, and just get things started. Once you have your agency started, you need to start making some money and getting some experience. So I'm going to show you how to acquire your initial customers, and then we're going to focus on making sure we do a really good job marketing those customers so that we can build case studies. Once we have our case studies built and you have confidence in your ability to help a business grow, it's time to find your niche and scale your business. So we're going to talk about your sales process of finding other businesses to help. And that's how we're going to get you up to $10,000 per month. Now let me ask you a question. Do you think it's possible to find 10 businesses who pay $2,000 per month for you to manage their marketing? That doesn't sound like very many, right? That's one per month type thing. You can do that. So let's say we get our revenue to about $20,000 per month. Then what we can do is we can build your team out or outsource some of that work. And we can start automating the business. So this is recurring revenue here where we know we have contracts. This is passive revenue up here where we get other people to execute the work and all of a sudden we're making money without actually working, right? So I'm going to show you how to build your team or the different resources you should use to outsource the work. So you're now making passive revenue. It's time to optimize and automate to take things even to the next level. I'll give you an example for myself. I can make a $7,500 website for a dentist in about an hour. So I'm going to show you exactly what I did to do that for dentists so that you can do that for whatever niche you're in. I promise you, if you can start pumping out websites as quickly as I can, it's really easy to start making serious money. So for example, you might have a promotion where if you buy one of my marketing plans, you get a free website. Now, that strategy doesn't make a lot of sense for you if it takes you 50 or 60 hours to make a website. But imagine how effective that promotion might be if it only took you an hour to make that website. So I'm going to show you how to optimize and automate, but we're going to do that up here because I want you to learn the process first. And again, that's why this course takes about 6 months to a year to do it properly, because you got to follow this step-by-step guide. Once you have optimized your agency and it's running itself, you're collecting your $10,000 or more of passive income every month, it's time to do whatever the fuck you've done, like you want to do. You've earned it. So you now have time, money, and location freedom. You can invest in traveling. You can invest in starting a new business. You can invest in the market. You can just save your money. I mean, you can do whatever you want. Buy yourself a couple nice toys, whatever you fancy. So this is our roadmap to success. And if you think you're going to get this done in a month or two, you're just wrong. I really want to emphasize that this is a systematic approach to creating a value-driven agency where your customers not only come back year after year, but also refer their friends. And you have to follow this exact process that I've come up with if you want to create the same success as I have. So where are you now on the freedom pyramid? Remember, freedom is having a combination of money and time. And so if you're watching this webinar, you're probably somewhere on level 1 or 2. You're probably feeling a little bit stuck and unhappy, or maybe you're feeling a little stuck and unhappy, but you're actually optimistic. You're watching maybe my webinar, maybe someone else's webinar, and you realize, hey, you know what? Growing a business online is a scalable, it's a doable thing. And as soon as you believe in yourself and in my process, it's time to get started. And you got to get started with the education, with the foundation. Sign up for my course. Start taking the classes, after work, before work, during your lunch break, on the weekends. You got to hustle. And then once you get those initial customers and you're making a few $1,000s a month in recurring revenue, you can quit your 9-to-5 job and focus on this full time. And so the way I have it mapped out in my head, let's go to the last slide here. Let's say you're focusing on the foundation during the weekends and evenings. Let's say you get that stuff done here. Let's say you launch your agency here. So let's say we're maybe 3 months into the program here. Maybe the next 2 months you're working on providing value for your initial customers. We're still only 5 months into the program. So that gives you 7 months to scale your business and build out your team to get to $10,000. So when you think about it and you just break down the course, this is a very, very doable thing for anyone. Like, I promise you can find 10 to 20 customers in an entire year if you hustle and if you listen to what I say. And ultimately, my goal is for you to have both money and time freedom within a year. And after you get to that point, it's all about pursuing your passion and investing time and money doing what you love. So we went over it in the roadmap, but you get 8 courses in the Academy. So it's going to be everything you need to know about how to be an online or a digital marketing consultant. It's going to be how to build a website using WordPress without any technological skills. It's going to be how to market said website effectively using a variety of different channels. So I'll teach you the pros and cons of marketing, using SEO, using AdWords, using Facebook marketing, using Instagram marketing. I'll teach you all of that stuff so you can create good marketing strategies for your customers that deliver results and brings them coming back year after year. I'm going to give you everything you need to know to create your own agency and get your initial customers. Then I'm going to show you the sales process, how to scale up your business so that you're making at least $10,000 per month in recurring revenue. And then I'm going to show you how to build your team and outsource some of the work so that we turn that recurring revenue into passive income. That's big for me because that's where you get that time and that money. And then I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to optimize once you have, some experience under your belt. You're doing a good job. Your customers are giving you positive testimonials. So I'm going to teach you all of that. And so, one thing with me, it was really tough to think about a price for this course because, I've literally spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in, time, trial and error. There's just so much learning that I've done really by accident. So I'm doing all the failing for you. I really believe that this system could compete. I think it would definitely compete against the average college degree. Think about it like this. My parents invested about $160,000 for me to go to college, and I came out of college with a marketing degree, and I couldn't even get an interview, right? That's not a very good return on investment. And by the way, they didn't teach me. I'm kind of old. I graduated college in 2010. So there was nothing about online marketing in my textbooks. So I learned 100% of what I'm teaching you on Google and through trial and error over the last 7+ years or whatever. So, all I'm charging either $500 to $1,000 if you want to take a specific course. So for example, maybe you're watching this and you already have your plan in place. You just need to learn how to make a website. Well, you can take my course on how to make a website. That's only $1,000, right? Now, if you want to buy the full system, which is what I recommend, that's going to be $2,500 a year. That's going to give you everything you need. And I said I'd give you guys a special offer if you stayed through. So thank you very much for staying through. The special offers for the first 50 people who sign up, I'm actually going to give you the course for only $500 a year. So it's going to be a $2,000 discount. I'm going to kind of coach you through the process. I'm going to give you a little bit more personalized attention. You guys can give me some feedback on where the course can, maybe the sections that maybe I didn't describe something well enough, or you want some supplemental materials. So you guys are going to kind of be the guinea pigs. And as a way of saying thank you for giving me feedback and signing up early, being the early adopters, I'm going to give you $2,000 off per year. So that's the pricing. I want to just kind of touch on a few more things. One is, if I can do it, anyone can. I'm not a genius, but the system I've created is. I remember being in your shoes. I remember working hard. I remember not having time to do what I love. I remember not having money to do what I love. I wouldn't go out for meals at nice restaurants because I was afraid my credit card would bounce. I remember being in those shoes, and I made a conscious decision to really structure my life around passive income. And I want to share everything I've learned with you. So I've created the step-by-step system built specifically for generating passive income. So it's really for folks who want to make money, who want to have a ton of time, after the first year, once you automate everything, and then location freedom. And so I really believe that this is your chance to leave the rat race if you're not happy and take control of your life. And now the ball's in your court, especially if you're one of the first 50 people who sign up, because it's only $500. Like, you can't really say no to that. I bet you dropped, $50,000-$60,000 on your college. What's another $500, right? Now, next step, fill out the application form below, or at the end of this presentation, so that I can screen you to make sure that you are a good candidate. This isn't a program for anyone. You have to tell me a little bit more about how much time you're willing to invest in this, because this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a systematic approach to creating a value-driven agency that generates significant amount of money passively. So I'm going to screen you, make sure you're not wasting your money, because the last thing I want is an unhappy customer. I love providing value to people. And then if you're one of the first 50 applicants who sign up, you'll get a coupon code to discount the course. So thank you very much for watching this presentation, taking the time. I kept it under 30 minutes, which is awesome. So it's time for you to sign up and start chasing your cloud.